Hi boys and girls. Today we're going to be starting our last unit. It is Unit 10 in Benchmark Advanced. But before we do that, I want to review some of our phonics and spelling words from last week really quickly. So please go get a piece of paper and something to write with, push pause, and then come right back and push play. Okay, boys and girls, so last week we worked on the O spelling, double O, and we worked on the words that double O says ooh as in moo, like soon, read them with me, bloom, smooth, and that's right, tooth. Over here we have words spelled with the O that sound like as in book. So let's read these words. What does that say? Hook, good, wood, and shook. Very good, boys and girls. So I hope that you've mastered these words and that you know how to read them quickly. We're going to do something now with our review, which is where your piece of paper and pencil comes in handy, okay? So grab your piece of paper and pencil, and today we're going to do three new words using that same spelling pattern. So we know that we're going to be using OO as a spelling pattern. So let's see if we can hear, as a review of last week, let's see if we can hear the different sounds in the words. So the first word is going to be tool. Tool. How many sounds? T, oo, l. Okay, so go ahead and write down the letters that go with the sounds. T, oo, and we know that there's double letters there. L, tool. Okay, if you spelled it like this, you spelled it like this, T-O-O-L, you did it correctly. Okay, you ready for number 2? And if you didn't, then remember, I get number 2 correctly. Okay, the next word, boys and girls, for number 2 is going to be spoon. Spoon. So I have 4 lines here because there's 4 sounds. S, p, oo, spoon. Loki's come to visit us. Hi, Loki. Say hi to the boys and girls. Wish them luck. Okay, spoon. Okay, so go ahead and write down the letters that go with the sounds. S, p, oo, spoon. Okay, I'm going to write it down. If you have S, P, O, which is N, yours looks like this. Spoon. You did it correctly. Nice job. Okay, number 3, last one. And last one, you see there's a little asterisk down here because there is a silent letter at the end. So I want to see, can you get that silent letter? The word is loose. In my pocket, I have some loose change, which means I didn't put it into anything. It rattles around. I could hear it. It is loose. Okay? Or you could say, it is important to not let my dog out loose. My dog needs to be on a leash so that way he or she does not run away. Loose. Okay, so we hear the sounds l, oo, which you know are double letters. S. And then here, the asterisk, remember it's a silent letter that goes at the end of some words. I know we've used the silent letter before, so see if we can get it. This is your bonus challenge one, okay? All right, I'm going to write mine down. You write yours down. L, oo, s. Are you ready to see it? Okay, let's see if you got it right. L-O-O-S-E. That's right, boys and girls. It's that silent E that I know that you've used before. Loose. Okay, so now that we reviewed last week's phonics and spelling, I think it's time to move on to our last benchmark event, a benchmark advanced unit, which is, drum roll please, exploring, which means looking into, talking about, learning about sound and light. Like my speaker here, boom, boom, boom. Exploring sound and light. So we're going to be doing some science, learning about what makes sound and learning about light. And our question that we'll be exploring this week is, how would our lives be different without sound or light? I cannot even imagine, boys and girls. I know that we have discussed and talked about Helen Keller, the amazing woman that was blind, which means she could not see, and she was also deaf, which means that she could not hear. And I don't know if you remember, but in class we closed our eyes and we plugged our ears for about 10 seconds to see what would life be like. So that's going to be our question I want you to keep going back to and asking yourself as you learn more about sound and about light. How would our lives be different without those things at all? Hard to imagine, huh? Okay, so we will be thinking more about those as you get activities and links throughout this week. But let's move on and introduce our spelling words so you have them to practice. The pattern this week are silent letters, letters that they're silent. Can't hear them at all. So silent letters, I put them in highlighted green, as you can see. So if you see a highlighted green letter, it means it's silent. So for spelling, it's extra challenging because you're going to have to remember to put in letters that you don't even hear, kind of like that silent E that we put on the word loose earlier. So you're ready to sound them out, but don't sound out the green highlighted ones. R, ap, rap. This is not rap like a rap song. This is, I'm going to wrap a gift for my mom for Mother's Day. Wrap. Okay, this one, don't say the K. B. I have to turn the knob on the door to open it. Knob. Next one. This, even though it looks like it would say a short I, it makes the long I sound. The long I, remember, is I. So, s, I, sign. Okay, there was a sign that said stop on the road. Okay, next one, don't say the silent letter. R, I, st. My wrist has a watch on it. Well, okay, now it's on my wrist. Wrist, your wrist. So again, wrap, knob, sign, and wrist. And then on this side, continuing again, all the silent letters, don't say the ones that are in green. So don't say k, it's just n. And then I underline OW because OW, most of the time OW says ow. But in this case, it's sometimes OW can say O. So OW does say O in this case. So this word is no, as in, I know that answer. I'm going to get it correct. Okay, this one next. At, gnat. A gnat is a tiny little bug that goes and might drive you crazy. Okay, that is a gnat. My kitties like to get any gnats that are in my house, so they don't last very long in my home. Gnat. And then this next one, we don't say the W sound, we start with the R. What does R say? R. Ong. Wrong. I hope you do not get any of your answers wrong. Wrong. And the last one, don't say the silent K. It's N. And then remember, IGH says I, so N, ite, night. This is not night when you go to bed. I'd have to take the K off. That's the night when you go to bed. But when you put a silent K on, this is the night, like in the fairy tales where he's the knight in shining armor and he's going to slay the dragon. That's this kind of night. Okay? All right, so I'm going to keep this up. I want you to push pause and I want you to read these words at least 5 times, same as we've been practicing. Read them at least 5 times so that you know how to read them quickly, because you need to learn how to spell them too. So definitely practice reading them. Okay, ready? So pause. All right, so I'm assuming you've practiced your words and read them at least 5 times, or maybe you'll come back to this part and do that later. That's fine. What we're going to be learning about this week, boys and girls, we're going to be focusing on poetry. And I love poetry, especially remember I would read Shel Silverstein, in my class, poetry, and that was a lot of fun. Poetry has a couple things, but today we're going to focus on poetry having rhythm, which is like a repeated pattern or sound, like dun, 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 dun. That would be a rhythm of a song. Poetry also has rhythm. And believe it or not, boys and girls, if you love music and you like songs, those are all poems picked to the sound of a rhythm or beat. So most poems will have some type of rhythm or beat to it. I'm going to read a poem to you now, and I want you to see if you could figure out what the rhythm is to this poem. Just listen kind of for a pattern. The rhythm will often come with repeated words, just like songs will have repeated words, and that's usually the part that everyone starts singing along with and knows, right? Okay, so this is called I Like. All right, so this says, I like sunshine, I like snow, I like brown leaves when they blow. I like cookies, I like cake, I like waffles when I wake. I like collies, I like cats, I like clowns with funny hats. I like stories at bedtime, I like poems when they rhyme. Isn't that a nice poem? I did not write that poem, boys and girls. The author is unknown. I happened to just find this poem, and I liked this poem. I think it's a great example of a poem that has rhythm. Did you kind of hear the rhythm or the beat of the poem? You probably also noticed something else, though. You probably noticed some of the rhymes. I know I've told you before, but I will remind you that you usually find the rhyming words at the end of each line. In poetry, they're not called sentences, they're called lines. So at the end of this line, I like sunshine, I like snow, I like brown leaves when they blow. Which two of those words rhyme? Is it sunshine and snow, leaves and blow? Out of those four words, which two rhyme? Think about it. Sunshine, snow, and then we have the word leaves and blow. Which two of those last words on those lines rhymes? It's like a tongue twister. It is snow and blow. Both end in O. So those are the two rhyming words. So they also incorporate rhymes into this poem. Let's see if we can find another one. Let's look at the next four lines. I like cookies, I like cake, I like waffles when I wake. So look at the end of the lines. Cookies, cake, waffles, wake. Which two words rhyme? Cookies, cake, waffles, wake. If you said cake and wake, both end in ache, you are correct. Those are the rhyming words. Nice job. So as you can see, there are some more rhyming words in here that you could try to find later. Your assignment, though, for this week, regards to this, are a couple things. I want you to practice your spelling words until you could spell them with your eyes closed. We're talking about what would it be like to live without sound and or light. And so I want you to close your eyes, and when you could spell those words, when somebody could tell you a word and you could spell it for them with your eyes closed, which means you don't have to write it, you just have to be able to spell it, then you know that you have completed this first part of the assignment, okay? So be able to spell your words even with your eyes closed. You should be able to spell them. Don't forget those silent letters. They could be very tricky. And then your second assignment this week, which I cannot wait, please take a picture and post it on Dojo. You can message me. I'd love to see your poems. I want you to write an I like poem, and I want you to try as best as you can. Put some rhythm in there, get it to a certain beat, and use some rhyming words, okay? So those are your assignments, and I hope that you enjoy them. And until next time, boys and girls, bye-bye.